Marcy. Can you hear me okay? Doesn't sound like it's on. Yes, it's on. It's good. I'm going to talk real close. All right. Thank you, Marcy. It is my privilege and honor to serve as the president and CEO of St. Francis Healthcare System. As Marcy said, I've been there for 3 years. I am a registered nurse, originally from St. Louis, Missouri. My father was a pediatrician there. He died about 15 years ago, pancreatic cancer. He shaped my life. If I could get to the car on Saturdays before he took off in the car, I could make rounds with him at Cardinal Glen and St. John's, now Mercy. So I also worked in his office, and he taught me how to do newborn assessments, and he really shaped who I am. I was a neonatal ICU nurse. People say, how did you get to be the CEO? I just kept saying yes to every opportunity that came along, and here I am. So I'm proud and privileged to be a part of St. Francis. We are proud and privileged to be a part of Ferguson Medical Group and the Sikeston community. So I'm going to talk a little bit about just the system overview. We have approximately 3,000 employees. We're St. Francis Medical Center, which is the hub of our system, is a 306-bed tertiary medical center, meaning we take high-risk patients to our medical center. We employ 70% of the primary care in our region, and I'll talk about our region, but primary care meaning family practice, internal medicine, not non-specialists or primary care. We have more than 40 offices and outreach clinics around our region. We are affiliated with Black River Medical Center in Cowboy Bluff. We are affiliated with Physicians Alliance Surgery Center, Landmark, which is a long-term acute care hospital in Cape Girardeau, as well as we are the only level 3 NICU in the region. I don't have a favorite department, but I do kind of like to go to the ICU a lot. And sometimes I'll work up there if they get really busy and they say, what are you doing here? And I say, I'm here to help. I can take care of a tiny baby or feed a grower baby. And they usually say, well, just fine, go back to your office, Mary Ann. And we're a level 3 trauma center, so we're very, very proud of that. I'm not going to go through all these things. This is all the things that we do. I can tell you what we don't do. It's a lot easier than to tell you what we do. We do not do burns. We don't take burn patients. We send those to St. Louis. We do not do transplants, right? And we do not do some pediatric subspecialties. So that's what we don't do. We do pretty much everything else. Here's our region. We employ more than 250 medical partners. Those are the physicians and providers in our health system. We are excited to join with Ferguson, and that adds about 40 more providers to our region. We service about 700,000 people in the states around us and in Missouri, and we are proud of that, proud of the region that we serve. Our mission, this is a picture of becoming entrance 1 into the medical center. Our mission, the mission of St. Francis Healthcare System, is to provide a ministry of healing, wellness, quality, and love inspired by our great Jesus Christ. And this is our front entry. You literally walk under the mission when you walk into St. Francis Healthcare System. I have 2 bosses. One is the Bishop of Springfield, Cape Girardeau. We don't send any money to the diocese. We are a Catholic hospital. I don't send any money to the bishop, but he's one of my bosses. And then the board chair is St. Francis Medical Center. So those are my 2 bosses, and I meet with them regularly. Okay, next. We started something at St. Francis recently called #JoyChallenge. I was calling it Pound Joy Challenge. I'm like, Mary Ann, it's called hashtag. So I'm showing my age. So this is about called to serve the people in our region outside of the walls of our medical center, outside the wall. So we do things like we provide backpack lunches to South Cape. That's the poorer part of our Cape Girardeau community. We provided this summer. We provided food for South Cape as well. Those kids don't have food in the summertime. They don't want to get out of school like we did at the end of the year. They want to stay in school because that's where they get their food. And so we do that. And we do that in some of the communities that we serve as well. And we're looking forward to partnering with our foundation and what Sikeston might need as well. And our foundation, of course, talking to Missouri Delta as well. I know they do many of the same things. We have a coat drive. We take care of homeless people in our community. We house 3 homeless men who were coming to the hospital for care, and we couldn't figure out why they wouldn't work together. It was because they lived under the bridge. And so we came together as a community, a family at St. Francis, and we provided a house for these 3 men. Now we can't wipe out homelessness in our community, but we can help serve the people that need us. Next slide. Okay, community benefits. As not-for-profit hospitals, we have to, not-for-profit health systems, we have to show a community benefit equal to what we don't pay in taxes. And so that's what this slide is all about. We've provided $123 million in total community benefit, $123 million in 2017. Our bond ratings were very financially sound. We just got upgraded with Fitch, which is near impossible to do. So we went from a AA- to a AA upgrade, which we're very excited about. And then for Standard & Poor's, we're an A+, and that's the highest that they'll actually give us. It is our goal by 2026 to be debt-free. That's our goal, 2026. We just paid off a huge bond recently, which helps decrease our expenses, because we don't have the interest rate. The interest rate on those bonds were about $1 million a year, and then the other associated costs of those bonds. Our financials, we took a little bit of a dip in 2017. You can guess what happened? We started our $50 million computer system install, so took a little bit of a dip. But we are, 2018 was the best year we've had in a long, long time, and it's because we decreased our expenses. We really worked on decreasing our expenses, and therefore we had a record year in 2018. We estimate that in 2019, even with we are lowering our prices. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Even with the lowering our prices into next year, we expect that we'll have a 5% margin and $24 million operating income. Go ahead. So that's the big news. I've been the CEO for 1 year. When I started as a CEO, I would go to community fairs similar to this. There'd always be somebody in the audience, and I was expecting it. They'd raise their hand and they'd say, "Mary Ann, we would love to come to your hospital, but you are too expensive." I'd be like, "I've been the CEO for 10 minutes. All right? I've been the CEO for 10 minutes, so can you just give me a year? Give us a year, we'll lower our expenses," and that's what we've done over the past year. I won't go into everywhere we've done it because it would take me too much time. But we are lowering our prices by $100 million this year and $100 million next year. My CFO right there, he's a little nervous. It keeps him up at night, Dave. He's my CFO. It makes us nervous, but it's the right thing to do. Our board wants us to share what we've done with our community. We don't need to make a 7% margin. We need to make a 3% margin. So we're excited about that. We've done a lot of work on revenue cycle and our revenue cycle revamp, friendlier bills. We've redone centralized scheduling, so it's easier to get scheduled into our hospital. We reorganized centralized registration, so you can come in any entrance and get registered. All sorts of things to improve our AR, our accounts receivable, and that's helped with improving our cash, getting our cash in the door. Okay, so let's talk about what insurances we accept. You can go to our website at www.sfnc.net to see all the insurances we accept. We do accept the ones up there, and I'm not going to go through them all, but we accept many, many insurances. Next slide. Okay, this is I love talking about quality and safety. I can tell you that Ferguson Medical Group we're going to learn things from Ferguson Medical Group because they have very high quality, and we know we're going to learn things from them. They have programs that we don't have in our other clinics that we're going to spread. So we're very excited about partnering with them, very excited. I also know that Missouri Delta is an excellent hospital, and they have great quality and safety. And it's objective data. If you go out to websites, you can look, it's all publicly reported now. We're paid that way. Hospitals are paid based on not just a patient in the bed anymore, Jason can vouch for this, not just a patient in the bed, but how do we care for that patient in bed, or how do we care for that patient in the clinics? So when I have my nurse's hat on, I think that's a really good thing. We should be paid for how well we care for patients. So we just found Jason's hospital has been an A in Leapfrog. St. Francis is an A in Leapfrog. I'm very proud to say that we design care at St. Francis Medical Center and St. Francis Healthcare System. We just don't let care happen. We design it, and we're very proud of that. We've had many things that we're top in the nation in, and I'll just give you one example of how we design care. When I started at St. Francis 3 years ago, in our surgical suites, our surgical site infection rate, you know, my marketing guy's here. He's over the foundation. This is Jimmy. He's over foundation and marketing. He's one of our vice presidents. And they never like me to talk about infection rates. They're like, don't talk about infection rates. I'm like, but you should talk about infection rates, right? When I started at St. Francis 3 years ago, we had a surgical site infection rate. That means you go into surgery, 2 to 5% of the patients across the nation will get an infection. Sometimes it's expected. We're a trauma center. That means there's dirty wounds, and so you might expect that a patient might get an infection. So we were at 1.5%, national average 2 to 5%. Pretty good. Now we're at 0.26% because we designed the care. We think that it's probably one of the safest places in the nation to have surgeries at St. Francis Medical Center. So we're very, very proud of that. We have many examples of how we design care, but we're very, very proud of that. And I like talking about that because we provide very, very good care to our community, just like Delta and just like our new partners, Ferguson Medical Group. In summary, we're excited to join Ferguson. We are excited to partner with Delta as well. It is never our intention to go into a community and take healthcare out of the community. Never, ever. We've never done that. We just would like to provide the tertiary services, meaning services that local communities can't provide, like a level 3 NICU, a trauma center, high-end neurosurgical care. Just the things that we do at a tertiary level center. Any questions for me? Really? Not one? Maybe I'll ask Dr. Boldry. So, I can't. Come on. Really? Okay.
Let me see the cost of healthcare in 3 to 5 years.
Where is it? The cost of healthcare in 5 years?
Yeah.
Well, what I see is employers going to different kinds of contracts. So employers sharing risk and doing risk contracts with health systems. That's what we started to do. We have a clinically integrated network called Impact, and we are starting to risk share. What I mean by that is going to an employer and saying, we'll hold your healthcare spend constant, and then we will manage the care of your patients, of your employees. So we have to do something different because the cost of healthcare cannot continue the way it's continuing. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? All right, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Andrew Boldry, who is a pediatrician at Ferguson Medical Group and also the medical director for Ferguson Medical Group.
Thank you, Mary Ann, and thanks for having us here. First off, I'd like to say that the partners and employees at Ferguson Medical Group are really excited about joining St. Francis Medical Center. What I'd like to do right now is kind of give you guys a little bit more insight into why this happened. There's a lot of questions and a lot of speculation. I'd like to clear that up a little bit. You know, FMG enjoyed being an independent community clinic, but as you know, markets shift, government regulations change, become more stringent. Physician expectations out of training changes as well. So times just basically have changed. It became apparent that although Ferguson Medical Group has been doing very well, our model was no longer sustainable, and it was reasonable to foresee that in 10 to 20 years, FMG might not be around. Primary care in this area might dry up to nothing. As you know, Ferguson Medical Group is owned by the physicians who live in the community, and we felt that's unacceptable. So we had to start looking for solutions to a problem that may come in a decade or two. So along came St. Francis. So while we were looking into solutions to this problem in the distant future, St. Francis came to us and said, what would it look like if we partnered together? So at the same time we were looking for the solution to this problem, St. Francis was as well. And it became clear that both of these organizations have a lot of the same ideals. We're a fit for each other. We both have the ideal of providing exceptional care to our communities. We have similar recruiting goals in that we don't want just any provider. We want premier doctors to maintain our standards of care, and we want financial stability. St. Francis will bring this to our community and will guarantee a strong medical presence in Sikeston for years to come. And as Marianne said, St. Francis isn't looking to take healthcare out of Sikeston. They realize this town needs good providers locally. And they want to make it easier on patients and therefore employers and employees to seek care closer to home. Not only are they providing new and more affordable healthcare coverage options, they also want to staff clinics with specialists to which we don't have access to in Sikeston, so your employees don't have to travel out of town to seek the care they need. They want to give you more options. They want to give you better options locally without having to leave your hometown. So again, FMG is thrilled to become part of the St. Francis Medical Center. We look forward to improving the health care delivered to Southeast Missouri. Always very fast. I'll give you 2 minutes. Any questions?